call the City Council meeting to agenda for August the 13th and welcome everyone that is here. If you'd please stand, we're going to have a moment of silence, then followed by the prayer and then the pledge of allegiance. I'd like to have a moment of silence for Officer Carl Stokes, who served the city of Marion for a number of years and was well thought of at the high school as an SRO officer. He passed away, his funeral was last week. So a moment of silence and then Reverend Denny Coughlin will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God has blessed us with evidence of your loving kindness and the beauty of creation, the greatness of a Savior. We come open our hearts before you tonight and earnestly ask for the blessing of peace on our city, that may continue, that your presence might be sought and seen among all peoples of our town. We ask a special blessing on our officials who we've elected who are before us, those who are serving in our town. We're giving thanks for those who have served, as we remember Carl. And your blessing on these who are present, and the very many who are not present here tonight. We make intercession for them, praying that our life together may be wholesome, beneficial, filled with joy. And as we have to deal, our council deals with decisions, sometimes some tough things, I would ask for your guidance in that, to the glory of Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, welcome. I'd like to welcome all the guests that are here this evening. Appreciate you coming out to the City Council and being involved and knowing what's happening in the City of Marion. And to the press, we thank you for coming as well and covering that meeting for us. Moving right along with our agenda, the first item is to approve the minutes of the July 9th, 2019 City Council meeting.
So moved, minutes be approved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Next on the item on our agenda is the July Employee of the Month. That's always an honor for me to be able to do that. And this year, this month, our Employee of the Month is Mr. Vondell Roberts. Vondell Roberts works in our Public Works Department. And Vondell, if you'll come on down. A lot of you might know Vondell. Come on down and see him. Vondell works in the Public Works Department. He does a fantastic job for Public Works. He picks limbs up. He's riding lawnmower and cutting grass, and he'll do everything we have to do at Public Works because, of course, that's what we have to do at Public Works, whatever we call it. But Vondell, you do a great job. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is item number 6, the naming of the proposed street behind the Marion County Museum. You should have at your place when you sat down a letter from Senator Kent Williams. As most of you probably have heard or know, the area behind the Marion County Museum, the big vacant lot where the school used to sit many years ago, has been acquired, and they are building a commemorative park in order and remember Senator Clemente C. Pinckney Memorial Park. And for those of you familiar with it, where the museum sits, right behind the museum and before the Council on Aging, they're going to put a new road through from West Dozier Street to Godbolt Street. And the senator is acquiring the funds to put the road in and to build the park, and he would like for us to be able to name that street the Senator Clemente C. Pinckney Street Road. It could be Street Road, we're not exactly sure at this point. And then at that point, we just do the naming rights on it. So I think that's an honor for the late senator, and an honor for us to have it. In that package, you'll see some rendering drawings of how that road will be, and some ideas of how the park's going to be. It's going to have some walking trails, a couple of platforms in there for some, if you had an event there. It's going to be a very neat facility in addition to downtown Marion. So I just need a motion to approve the naming of the street for Senator Clemente Pinckney.
Well, Mayor, this land was purchased by a couple residents in Marion, wasn't it?
It was purchased a number of years ago, but the county bought it.
Bought it from
Yes. Yeah, the county bought it from those residents that live in the area that owned it previously.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
It looks like that.
Yeah, they're raising the money. They're spending it.
Money.
Yeah,
You announced it in county council, all the money it raised.
yeah. They got it.
For the whole project, yeah.
Yep.
It cost us nothing.
Moving on.
My thing about that is, I told him, he should come up here and speak to us verbally. Why send us a letter? He go to that county council meeting every time they have county council meeting in town. And I asked him, why don't you come up here and present it, verbally?
Right.
But I don't know. And then now he could come out and ask for some money pretty soon, it's election time, so he'll send you a letter for that too, I guess.
Moving right along on our agenda is item number 7. You have an attachment in your agenda. This time is the Recreation Department bids for the food concessions. As we've done in the last 2 years, rather than the city being in the concession business at the football games and the baseball games and all of our recreational events, we found it was a lot better for the city of Marion to bid that process out. So we're not having to go find supplies and worry about cash drawers or the coolers go bad and ice cream melts. So it's been a great for the city of Marion. We haven't had any complaints. Well, I say we have. We had one event that we had a thing, but it was not Mr. Evans's fault. We just didn't notify him of the event. But in front of you are 2 sealed bids that were opened yesterday morning. One for L&S Concessions for $4,001.50. The next one is for CHOP Curbside Catering, Mr. Craig Hopkins for $4,000. Both of them all meet the specs of our bid. We had a minimum bid out there, and they all exceeded that minimum bid. So we'll have a motion to accept the highest bid. In this case, highest bid is good for the city of Marion.
Mayor, I make a recommendation to hire L&S Construction. We have them 2 years, and they had no problem for them. I'd like the motion to retain them.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 8 on our agenda is the vacuum truck sale discussion. We do have our new vac truck in operation. It's working presently. We've started kind of a systematic approach. We started on South Main Street this morning, and our goal was to go from South Main Street all the way to North Main to catch all the catch basins, then come back and get Liberty Street from east to west on Liberty Street, and then start working some problem areas, but at least get that area going. So our new truck is working fantastic. We're getting through storm drains that we couldn't get through. The camera system has helped us identify a couple places where we couldn't see where the blockage was. So with this camera system, we still graciously y'all approved to purchase to able to identify the areas of blockage, and we're going to go to CTC for funding in the fall to try and get some additional funds to fix this pipe, which is causing some flooding. You just can't plant pine trees on top of storm drains and expect 20 years later you're not going to have problems, and that's what's happened. So in doing so, we're still stuck with our old 1993 vac truck. And what I would like for us to be able to do is go ahead and put that truck up for sale. In talking to the company that we bought our present truck from, he tells us that truck is $20,000 to $25,000 in value for that truck. We checked. I know there's some discussion about retaining that truck, maybe and doing something different with it. Keep in mind, it's a 93 truck with a lot of miles on it. To put a dump bed on it, It's gonna cost us about $14,000 to $15,000 to put a dump. That's taking all the stuff off and spend $14,000 to $15,000 to put a dump bed on it. My thought process would be to go ahead and sell that truck and use those funds to put to the side for the purchase of a second grapper truck down the road with the sale, using the sale of this truck as seed money to go to the purchase of the second grapper truck, which I think we'll need down the road. I'll throw that on the table. See how y'all like that? Or go ahead and sell it?
Certainly could use another grab truck.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the one we got is, it saves a lot of time and effort. It saves that backhoe from digging up people's yards.
Yeah, I agree. And if it goes down, you need a backup. So I think that would be a good seed money. And we got some other trucks that we can sell as well that are disrepaired. And just start building a little savings account.
We
for
wanted to
each
keep
grapper
that truck and try to get that pump fixed, wanted $70,000 to have it repaired.
Yeah, it's you're pouring money into a hole on a 93 model truck. There are a lot of those trucks in service, so from what they're telling us, there are some smaller cities that don't have as big problems. Could use that or use it for a parts truck that have an identical truck.
A question, because I know we thought that if we used it until the pump ran out, we could still take the pump off the truck and then sell it. If we had an issue where we had so much stormwater, or it had one, and that we would use it until it was just, the pump was not, because if we run into a situation, God forbid, that we have a lot of water, I don't know if, but I'm willing to go along with the consensus of the council. It makes, any difference, but that's the reason why I thought it would be ideal to keep it, because it could aid us into getting some of that stormwater out. If, in fact, there was a time, and there will be a time where the water would get so high that we would have to utilize that.
Right. I agree.
Does it work any at all?
Yeah.
If it's simple.
Yeah, it works some. The only thing it is, since we got the new one, the old one was full of us. There was places we couldn't get through with the old one, and now we go right through with the new one. The pressure is just so much different. But yeah, to answer the question, it does still work some. Yeah. But the pressure is nowhere where it should be, and that's how we started out before. If you remember, we got our first estimate was like 30-some thousand, and then when they got it up there and tore it down, then it went to 50,000. Then I think the last thing was 74,000. Because it just kept getting to be more, because they were trying to put it back to the specs that it should be at. So that it would work, if somebody goes out there working, it'll work like it's supposed to. Right now, it's probably working at about 25% of what it should be. That's the only problem with it, is like I say, if you carry this somewhere and you're in a bad area, which normally that's where we're gonna be, it's
not really
mislead us,
effective
the
job.
employees. We're gonna think that something bad wrong with it. When you put this new truck in there, shoots right through it. So that's the only thing. But like I say, it does work some.
But it's not costing us anything now to keep it.
Insurance.
So,
Well,
insurance.
Yeah. And like I say, it is a older truck, so it's gonna have little things here and there.
Yeah.
Less money.
It would be, I'm just gonna be honest, it'd be nice to start a seed fund, savings account, whatever you want to call it, for a new grapper truck down the road. And then going to USDA for a grant for the balance of that. We could get about 50% on a USDA grant if we want to get another grapper truck. So we're only talking,
I'm reasonable, because I know Alan knows exactly what's going on. I'm just coming from an ideal
Sure.
perspective.
I understand.
But if it's only doing 25%, then maybe, it's something that's not effective. And so, I'm just really wanting to go with consensus, and if that's what we need to do, I don't think it's a big issue. I was just thinking that if it was working somewhere, it could do us a good job at the time.
and having somebody to run it. We only got like one operator that knows how to run
And
it.
what they
Right?
want to do is just keep it for the next couple of months, get through hurricane season, then put it
Or maybe we got,
That's a good idea. Let's see if
let's
we
just
can
keep it through hurricane season at least.
so put up for sale in November 1st when hurricane season's over with.
And that way, that if an emergency did come, we did use it, we could. But like I say, it still works, it's about 25%.
That's reasonable.
That's right. I make a motion, let's keep it, put it up for sale.
We need more than one person.
November after hurricane season.
Second motion.
Any other further discussion?
Yes, I have something. I think we need to hire a backup driver as well.
It's training.
What is the training process?
You gotta have a CDL license.
It's a CDL.
And finding CDL drivers in today's economy, it's very competitive to find a CDL driver because of salary.
And what we have started,
And we are cross.
yeah, we have started with some of our employees that are interested in
training.
doing it. We've started a little incentive. We always give them something when they pass their CDL. Now we say, okay, if you go out there and pass the written part, you get your permit, we'll go ahead and give you a little bit of money. And then we got some people that can help them with the practical part. Once you get through that, then we give you the regular CDL pay. And we got a couple people interested in doing it. One went last week and took his and got his permit.
Jackie Yates is our great mentor. Once they get that written part taken care of, Jackie Yates will get out and drive with them and take my truck. Jackie's a great teacher on that, so he is our mentor to help us get over that thing. And when they go to take that test, Jackie goes with them, to help them. He can't help them drive, but he can go with them, kind of settle the nerves and just be there with them when they're taking the test.
He got a good record. He's got everybody who's with
Yeah, he's 100% on his pass.
100% so far.
So we had a motion, a second discussion. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is item number 9 on the agenda. You should have it in your packet. Several years ago on Main Street, at Main Street Commons, after the devastating fires there on Main Street, HMRA acquired that property and they built the outdoor venue, which has a little gazebo. They have a lot of events up there, and that's what we want to do, is promote Marion and promote events for the town of Marion and attract people here. But when we have events at that, where the HMRA or other organizations have events up there, you got to have restroom facilities. And what we've been doing is renting porta johns, which they serve a purpose, but not an image I don't think the city of Marion wants to have. So in discussing this, I was talking with Donnie Gerald and Miss Frances Gerald about the prospects of bathroom up there, and they were so gracious and kind. They said, I tell you what, this old metal barn that's right behind the Commons, we'll give it to the city of Marion. And then the city of Marion would be responsible for building a bathroom in there at our cost. But they'll give us the property free of charge. We might have to we'll probably pay the taxes on it and whatever closing costs Mr. Brogdon will incur. But the land itself, and maybe we'll do some help with the demo on it. And then we can go back and build a bathroom facility right there. It would be public, but we'd only open it when we're having events in that area, not keep it open up all the time. So I thought that was a good idea. We probably could get, a ladies' bathroom with 2 stalls in it, men's bathroom, because it's not a huge footprint. Make it nice and
It
neat.
makes it more reasonable for people who want to enjoy it. Because,
Exactly.
Porta John, I don't like going to Porta John.
That's right. That's right.
I'll go in.
Yeah, if you got to, but, we're trying to attract people to come to Marion. Let's put our best foot forward and a nice facility so when they come to our venue, whether it be on Saturday mornings when they have a farmer's market or we have a concert up there or whatever, we got a nice facility. So I just need a motion to accept the lot be given to the city of Marion free of charge for us to build a bathroom facility there.
I move that the mayor is allowed to accept the land and property that's given by Ms. Donnie Gerald and
Miss Frances Gerald.
Frances Gerald to the city so that we can move forward to try to build a facility that would adequately meet our needs as far as restrooms. Is that good?
That's good.
Second motion.
Discussion. All in favor? Okay. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving right along, Administrator Report, Mr. Anders.
Thanks, sir. We'll go back to stormwater a few minutes and kind of just give council update. As we all know, we started saying several months ago, talking about doing stormwater maintenance. Because everywhere we're working on the SEDOT stuff. It hadn't been worked on in years, but something had to be done. As the mayor said earlier, we started on South Main Street right at the police department. We started working our way back actually today. But some other areas I'll tell you we've worked on during the month and already identified some things. Another area, PD Circle. We went in PD Circle, cleared all the driveway crossovers. As most of you know, that area through there, it's still got open swale. The water goes and drains to the back. We did find one problem with the driveway crossover that's gonna have to be repaired. I spoke with Mr. Cole with the DOT. They're gonna actually come in there, they got a special type of machine between the swale, the ditches on there. They're gonna work on that for us. And on the back, like the mayor said before, trees, we find out sometimes problems where they're planted. On the pipeline at the very back, we got a big old humongous oak tree back there. When we get that far and start cleaning, that's probably gonna be a problem back there. But of that area, another area, Kimball Drive, on Kimball Drive, Ashley Avenue, identified a problem that we knew was there for several years. And this is where the truck and the camera paid off. If not, having a camera system in the truck, we would have said we needed enough money to replace 800 feet of pipe. After we got there, cleaned it, put the camera in it, we only need money to replace about 50 feet of pipe. That's what the problem is. Got two big pine trees, and it's about a 50-foot section got to be tore out. So now we've already got an estimate from the contractor. We'll go to the CTC, ask for money to fix that, just that section. So instead of it being a $200,000 job, it might not be $30,000 or $40,000. And that'll be more money we can use on other projects. Over on the Edgewood, Northside Avenue, we've been working on those catch basins in the area of Northside Avenue, parks and all that. All of you know that's a bad area. We've cleaned our pipes. There's a big canal on the back, goes out across Thomas Hunter, the field there, and you know, Rogers Road, goes behind the house, and cross back over Main Street, ends up in Catfish. That's a lot of turning, but that's the way it goes. Got DOT involved on that one also. We're trying to get secure the property owner's permission, and DOT is going to put that on the contract through them to clean that area of the canal. Green Street, side of the Armory, same thing. That big canal through there, goes to Smith Swamp. DOT is going to pick that one up. We're cleaning the pipes, everything up to the canal. DOT will pick up the canal and clean it. So we've got a lot of projects going on with that. But there's plenty of work to work on with that stormwater. That's a year's job. That is something that's going to happen short term. Next thing, LED lighting, with Greenwood, finally got all the paperwork in. It's been approved by the state. Everything's finalized. We spoke to them yesterday. Then we put the shipping container around the shed and getting the materials delivered, and then start working. You got a letter there from the mayor and a proposal on some rural fire fees changing in the county where they actually don't go up on the fire fee service for the area. The fire department can cover outside the municipalities, which we cover a pretty good sized area outside the city limits. I think they had first reading on it this morning, but I'll keep council up to date on that. Looks like we'll be getting a little increase on our fees. This, now the percentage breakdown by department on that last sheet, that's not correct. That's one of the things that we objected to. Because basically what we was going to take money from us and give to different departments. So we objected to that and requested to stay at the same percentage distributions in place now. So, but you can see even at their figures, we should be looking at about a $46,000 increase. But I'll keep council up to date on it. Lastly, our CTC project, we only have one in operation right now up on Park Avenue. It looks like it should be complete in a couple of weeks. That project had drug out for a long time, but there was a lot of hidden things that were found by the contractor. But it looks like a couple more weeks that should be getting finished. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Brogdon, do you have an update for our city attorney?
Happy to report that I do not, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Moving on with our comments, I'd like to thank Mayor Pro Tem Emerson Hunt for standing in my stead last month. I appreciate it, understanding you got glowing remarks and reviews. I was on vacation with the family, and I appreciate you stepping in. It's one of those things that just kind of popped up, and I was not able to change, so I appreciate you jumping in and doing it. Thank you so much. Moving along is on updates on several items. I got a bunch, so please just bear with me.
Mayor, you want to do the public comments first?
Sure. I'm sorry, I got out of order. I apologize. Is anybody here from Father's Place?
I don't see Father's Place.
apologize for getting out of order. Anybody, Denise McKee?
I don't see her. She was at the last meeting.
You were on schedule, I'm sorry. I didn't know realize there wasn't here.
They're not in attendance. They could apply to come back again in the future. So going on, Louisville, we have cut the grass. We called the county, talked to Mr. Tim Harper and the county and our employees. They sent a tractor, we sent a tractor. We cut it in conjunction with them last week. We have been cutting the grass on the exterior of the property. I've had a conversation or two. I know, just to tell you what I've done, I've made a conversation with the U.S. Attorney's Office that's handling it, and really, you're not getting anywhere. It's the government, okay? It's the U.S. government. It's the U.S. Attorney General's office. So they're not telling me anything or saying anything. We also, but we can't continue to cut the grass. It's just going to be a problem. So we went out and we got a contract bid to spray the property, to basically turn it into a desert, so that we're not having that eyesore. And just spray it down. He'll guarantee it for a year. We went and got a contract. We can't do it as a city because we don't have the appropriate license. Nor does the county have an individual on their staff that has the appropriate license to spray the herbicide to kill everything. So Graham Spray Works has given us a bid for $2,500. That's the spray project. He said he'll go back in and in 2 or 3 months, if anything is still green, he'd reapply for that same $2,500. We went to Tim Harper, said, hey, how about the county split this with us? It's my understanding this morning they approved to split it, and they'll chip in $1,250. We chip in $1,250, and we get it and spray it. And we'll spray the fence and the thing. So that's in working in conjunction with the county. We'll bill Essex Holdings for it.
Correct. I spoke to Mr. Harper this morning after the meeting. He called me and told me that the county had approved to split the cost with us for us to pay it. They would reimburse us to $1,250. And in speaking to him, I told him.
For you city to get fruit.
I guess what we're at is we need to know if we want to proceed with accepting the grant and then, or bring it back to y'all with some more information next month. We just found out all the details of it in the last week or so. But we got how many times on the grant?
We probably got probably about 30 days. We got to let them know, yes, we want to accept the grant, or we need to turn it back in.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it'll be only for people who want to do it, because there will be a fee involved. We don't even know what the fee is right now. I know in our original conversations before, when we worked on this thing several months ago, Lake City does something very similar, and I think they're charging them about $6. But they didn't furnish the cars. The contractor furnished the cars. We'll be able to bring that down some, maybe to the $4 or $5 range. Because we're going to furnish the city, will actually be buying the cars. They'll be the city's cars. We'll put them out, but the contractor will pick them up just like he picks trash up. So we're pretty confident we can get it down to the $4 or $5 range.
And we also got a second grant for educational purposes.
Right. We got a grant also to pay for some publicity and to educate the public on it.
Has it worked in other places now, same type of population area? Have you seen it work? Is it a pilot program?
Yeah, and we did it years ago. Long time ago, we had it really work.
I remember.
Years ago, and it was, honestly, what happened there was it was poor participation, and the city got away from it. And at that time, the trend was everybody going to single stream recycling. Put it all in a container and carry it. They had a big machinery made to separate everything, and that was the trend. Now the trend is a little different. If you're going to have single stream recycling, it's like the mayor said, you have to have an employee sitting there to help the consumer, the public, separate it like it needs to be, to make sure you keep it clean recycling. In the market, recyclables are just so low now. Years ago, you made money off of it.
You really don't make money on recycling.
We need some kind of idea how many people's interested in it before we accept the grant. I mean, it could be put out the city.
We can put it out there, we just don't want to let the grant pass us by. So we could always do a special meeting.
Or even if you have a consensus, just looking around, giving us an idea of how other communities have done with it at a similar size. I think it's a great idea. You know, if it's something workable, I just don't.
I know Lake City does it, and they do it bi-monthly, 2 times a month because, but I can check around and see, small places. Now, that's, we can't compare ourselves, but all the big, right, so doing this out.
So all of them?
All of them are doing this out.
Okay.
And a lot of them even got recycling centers in the county that are making, like the Marion County side,
I guess we'll be back and get some more information and go back to DHCL if we extend it to our next council meeting.
Can we do it after the executive session? Can we come back and revisit it? If we have time to think about it by then?
I think we could probably best just get some more different, how if DHEC can let us extend it and not, in the worst case, we can always do a special meeting if we
And
get.
we can put some stuff on the website, Facebook, and see how many people might be interested.
Yeah.
Just let them know, that there will be a charge. Find out more
We
about
just need
that.
more information on
Yeah.
it before we try to rule on it.
That's right, okay. No problem. Moving right on, Councilman Baker, you have any comments?
Just one. Ellen, we talked about the Wyndham property on Cabo. Could you also get them to check right behind Doris Brown on Georgetown? On the house directly behind her, because that needs to be cleaned up again.
That's that one we went to before, same one?
Yeah, same one.
I know where you're going.
Other than that, we take care of everything.
Councilman Frazier, any comments?
No, we all set.
Councilman Atkinson?
I'm good.
Councilman Atkinson? Councilwoman Tassett?
Thank you, Chief. I'm looking forward to our community police awareness. I think that it's going to fare well in the community with them being able to come in and talk about their issues up close and personal. So I think that's going to be very beneficial to the community and the city. I am really thankful for everyone that has given school supplies to our children. I know I've been to at least 5 events, and every little bit helps. So thank you to Ms. Ellen and Ms. Marilyn Woodbury, St. John, and so many other churches that were instrumental in making a difference in the lives of our children. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Councilman Hunt?
No, fine, thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session? For the purpose of municipal court. All in favor? Opposed? We're going into executive session.